Mm-hmm. We're doing theater now.
It's theater of the mind.
Well, yes, always.
As long as you don't mind. How's it going?
I'm doing great.
What's up?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Good. So I'm going to talk a little bit about your passwords.
My passwords?
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what my passwords are?
Nope.
Good, because I can't tell you.
You can't tell me?
How many times, lady. So, how many different passwords does it take to run our lives? A bajillion. And how often?
Just one.
What? No. You have to have a different password for everything has to have its own password. And it has to be different. And you have to remember the difference. And you have to not fat finger it when you try to type in, especially when you're trying to log in on your phone. I can't tell you how often. I mean, it's just, I'm really getting really spoiled with the just press my finger and it open up my account on my phone.
I get spoiled with the just pull my finger and it opens up all kinds of great doors. Do you have a password keeper?
A password keeper?
Yeah, like a software that holds all your passwords in one place?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I do.
All right.
I don't use it. But I have one.
I don't, but I found myself very jealous of a friend of mine when I was looking for his password. I managed one of his accounts and I was looking for his password and he's like, well, hold on for a second. Pulls out his phone and he's like, oh, it's right here. And I was like, wow. I had no idea.
I had no idea.
But there are some protocols that we should probably talk about when it comes to passwords that you should never use.
Oh,
especially
passwords you should never use,
especially in your small business. And we have to have this conversation on a regular basis. We've done it before. How many different
passwords do you think you have? Oh, you have one.
I have more than one.
I think I have like 50 passwords because everything has a different password.
I have a password.
Yeah.
That I have used since 1992.
I still have a few things that had, when you first started doing passwords, right? Yeah. That I've had for so long that I haven't updated them, but very few things, because for the most part, you got to go in and lock that baby on lockdown, get it down tight.
Yeah.
So you got capitals and you got numbers and you got symbols. The whole enchilada.
Right. Well, let's talk about your capitals, numbers, and symbols and the common mistakes that people are using, even in business. And again, like I said, we have to have this conversation on a regular basis. Why? Because there are hackers, bad people who want to take your stuff. And they do. And the most recent scandal is with the Equifax.
Yes, right? Yes.
And by the way, once they get in and get into the arena, such as Equifax, which is affecting 1/2 of the population of the United States, it's not now just going in and changing your password is not going to do any good, because they already have your social security number. They already have all your credit card numbers and files. They already have all your personal identifiers. So, and this is not to scare you, but it might be a wake-up call for you when it comes to your business security. The number one most common bad choice for businesses using passwords? Password.
No.
True.
People don't use it anymore. Password. They are smarter than that these days.
PASSWORD. Password. If you want to get really fancy, you capitalize the P. Or if you're super stealthy, you use the @ symbol for an A, because no one would know that.
And the $ for the S's.
Or a 5, 2 5s for the S's.
And
the number 0 for, guess what?
So you've got letters and numbers.
You could even put an exclamation point on it.
It's
been done.
It's been done.
Hackers get it all the time.
Really?
All the time.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
So you got a hacker who is hacking away.
I got a question. So you got a hacker.
Yeah. And he's thinking, all right, I'm going to try password. Well, that didn't work. So I'm going to try password with an @ And now I'm going to try password with the $signs. And now I'm going to put the exclamation point. How many versions before he realizes, all right, so password wasn't their password?
All of them.
But then why do you, it seems like a complete waste of time to me.
Right? I agree. And yet here we are, we ask ourselves the questions.
Yes.
I don't know how do you spell that?
How do you spell? Is it a word?
Mac.
Are you talking to me? Are you still with us on the radio?
I am. I'm sorry.
I think Eric has left the building.
No, I'm sorry, but one of our listeners just posted, and he uses RIAHKCAB spelled backward, and it took me a second to figure it out.
What is it? What's that spell?
Back hair. Oh, Lord.
Well, okay.
Thank you.
I must admit,
Yeah.
I like the idea of a sentence or a phrase that I can remember, but I can alter.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a phrase that I've used.
But use one that you haven't used. Come up with a new one.
Well, but the whole idea of we're making it big.
Angel is a funny man.
I am not a man.
Well, that's why no one would choose that. No one would choose it.
Okay, so the phrase Eric is a funny woman, right? So you would have this phrase. Now for me, I would put the initials for the site. So let's say Facebook, right?
Oh, I see.
And so my Facebook would be FB, Eric is a funny man.
Woman.
Or funny woman, right? And then you would have the capitals and the lower cases and the symbols and the numbers where you could, modify that. And that's a pretty long one, but that would be the phrase. So it would be FB, Eric is a funny woman, however you type it. And then you go over to your LinkedIn account and you'd have LI, Eric is a funny woman. And you go over to your Southwest account and SW, Eric is a funny woman. So that way it's different for every site.
Yeah.
But it's still really complicated. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
But I can remember it because I can remember the sentence that goes with it.
Because Eric is a funny woman.
Because Eric is a funny woman.
Got it.
Right?
I actually like that. I like where you're going with it. And phrases like that now are acceptable in many of the password
Well, and they
generators.
told you not to ever use a word that you can find in the dictionary. So don't write, monkey or cheese or pizza or, have a word in there. And so even though all of these are words, Eric is a funny woman, none of them are spelled out.
Right. And it's all one word.
And it's all one jumbled something,
string.
Right?
And FB throws everybody off.
Well, or you put it at the end, or you put it in the middle.
I like it.
Right?
All right. Here's
but it's a system. So every time I have to create a new password, which seems like every week I'm creating a new password for something.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Oh my goodness.
QWERTY. QUWERTY. Don't do that. That's the top 5 keys of your
At the bottom one,
top
question mark, arrow, MNBVC.
Right. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop it.
I bet you the bottom row backwards is acceptable.
The bottom row backwards is acceptable.
I think so.
I'd be very surprised. Business name or business name 1.
They must have software that just randomly is because I am just thinking what an absolute complete waste of time for somebody.
You're a busy lady.
But to just sit there and go, okay, how about this? How about this? How about their birthday?
How
about every variation of their business name? That's what
makes them hackers. They like doing that. And by God's grace alone, your son could do that. I mean, he's smart.
You used to do this, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Date of birth. Nobody, don't use that. Simple dictionary words, baseball, football, soccer, blah, blah, blah. Muffler, tire, spark plug. Still risky. Don't do it. Yeah. The passwords, your security is more and more important, which is why the Apple Phone X, whatever they are calling that, that doohickey's got the facial recognition going on because you just can't. That's a security measure that most people can't duplicate.
I just really like my fingerprint.
You like your fingerprint?
I do.
Yeah.
So when I log into certain apps on my phone, it makes me put my fingerprint in there.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I do not remember what that password was.
It is way easier than typing, that's for sure. All right, gang.
Or remembering what I typed.
You know what? We have a phrase around here. Remember.
People forget.
We'll be back right after these messages. Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network. Thanks, Chris.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business. KDMT, Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
You never planned on getting injured in an accident. You don't know where to turn. Call Boson Law. When you meet with John Boson, you'll know right away you've made the right decision. John will put you at ease and explain the whole process, start to settlement. They'll handle medical bills, work directly with the insurance company, and help you get back on your